What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, your go-to source for everything Dallas Cowboys. I'm Dave, and today, we've got some juicy updates to dive into regarding the Cowboys' interest in veteran running back Dalvin Cook. It's a story that's got fans talking, and we're going to break down all the details, speculate on what could happen next, and, of course, get your thoughts on the matter. But before we get into all that, I need you to do one thing. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're on a mission to reach 11,000 subscribers, and your support is absolutely crucial in helping us get there. So go ahead and subscribe now. You won't want to miss what we've got coming up. Alright, Cowboys fans, let's get into it. Dalvin Cook, the former Minnesota Viking and New York Jet, was recently in Dallas for a meeting with the Cowboys as they work on finalizing their 53-man roster. Now, this wasn't just a casual meet and greet, there was real interest on both sides. Cook, who's known for his explosive runs and ability to change a game, showed up in great shape, according to Clarence Hill of AllDLLS.com. That's definitely a good sign for a player who's had his share of ups and downs in recent seasons. But here's where things get interesting, and maybe a little bit disappointing for those of you hoping to see Cook in a Cowboys uniform this season. Despite the positive impression he made, the Cowboys decided to roll with their current running back trio of Ezekiel Elliott, Rico Dowdle, and Deuce Vaughn on the active roster. Cook wasn't signed, but that doesn't mean the door is completely closed. According to reports, the Cowboys could still be interested in bringing Cook on board, but, and this is a big but, it would come with one major condition: Cook would have to join the practice squad, at least for now. Let's pause here for a moment and get your take on this situation. Cowboys Nation, what do you think about Dalvin Cook potentially joining the practice squad? Do you think it's worth it for the Cowboys to keep him in reserve, or do you believe Cook deserves a spot on the active roster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's see what the community thinks. Also, be sure to vote in our poll. Should the Cowboys bring Dalvin Cook onto the practice squad, or should they stick with their current lineup? Your voice matters, so let's get that discussion going. Now, let's talk a bit about why Cook might have held off on signing a deal with the Cowboys. It's clear that Dalvin Cook still believes he has something left in the tank, even after a disappointing 2023 season with the New York Jets. He's a player with a lot of pride, and the idea of being on a practice squad probably doesn't sit well with him. After all, we're talking about a guy who, not too long ago, was one of the top running backs in the league, capable of putting up big numbers and being a game changer. It's understandable that he's looking for a situation where he can contribute immediately, not just be a backup plan. So, Cowboys Nation, let's put ourselves in Dalvin Cook's shoes for a second. If you were in his position, would you accept a practice squad role with the Cowboys, or would you hold out for a chance to be a starter somewhere else? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We're really curious to see what you all think about this scenario. And while you're at it, share your predictions. Do you think Cook will end up signing with another team, or is there still a chance he could land in Dallas? We're all ears. Now, for those of you keeping a close eye on Cook's journey, you'll be interested to know that he's scheduled to visit the Indianapolis Colts later this week. The Colts are in a bit of a tricky situation themselves, with some uncertainty at the running back position, so it makes sense that Cook would want to explore all his options before making a decision. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. Will Cook find a new home in Indianapolis, or could he circle back to the Cowboys if things don't work out? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Dalvin Cook is a player who's not ready to hang up his cleats just yet. But let's get back to the Cowboys for a moment. If Dalvin Cook does end up signing with another team, what does that mean for Dallas? Are you confident in the trio of Elliott, Dowdle, and Vaughn to carry the load this season? Or do you think the Cowboys should have taken a gamble on Cook, even if it was just as a backup? I want to hear from you. What's your confidence level in our current running backs? Are you all in, or are there concerns? Let's get a discussion going in the comments, and don't forget to participate in our poll. Now, let's take a closer look at why Dalvin Cook might still be an intriguing option for the Cowboys, even if it's just as a practice squad player. Cook's career has been nothing short of impressive, and despite a less than stellar 2023 season with the Jets, there's plenty of reason to believe he could still contribute in the right situation. Over his 6 seasons in the NFL, Cook has rushed for over 7,000 yards and scored 47 touchdowns. That's no small feat, and it speaks to his ability to make plays and find the end zone, even when the odds are against him. But here's where things get tricky. The Cowboys already have a solid lineup at running back. Ezekiel Elliott, the veteran workhorse, is back and ready to prove he's still got it. Rico Dowdle has shown flashes of potential and could be a key rotational piece. And then there's Deuce Vaughn, the young, explosive back who's eager to make his mark. So where does Cook fit into all of this? That's the million-dollar question, and it's one that the Cowboys coaching staff will have to grapple with if they're serious about keeping him on the practice squad. Let's talk strategy for a moment. If Cook were to join the practice squad, it would give the Cowboys a valuable insurance policy. Injuries are an unfortunate reality in the NFL, and having a proven veteran like Cook waiting in the wings could be a game-changer if one of the top backs goes down. Plus, Cook's experience and leadership could be invaluable in mentoring the younger players, particularly someone like Deuce Vaughn, who's still finding his footing in the league. But here's the flip side. Would Cook be content in a backup role, especially on the practice squad? This is a guy who's used to being the feature back, the one who gets the ball in critical situations. Asking him to step back and potentially take a diminished role is a tough sell, and it's likely why he hasn't signed with the Cowboys or any other team just yet. He's weighing his options, and who can blame him? After all, when you've had the kind of career Cook has, you've earned the right to be selective. Cowboys Nation, this is where you come in. If you were in the Cowboys front office, how would you approach the situation? Would you push harder to bring Cook in as an insurance policy, or do you think it's better to stick with the current roster and avoid potential locker room drama? I want to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's see what you all think. And don't forget to vote in our latest poll. Should the Cowboys offer Cook a spot on the practice squad, or should they focus on developing their younger talent? Your opinion matters, and we're all eager to see what the community thinks. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the broader implications of this potential move. If Dalvin Cook were to join the Cowboys, even on the practice squad, it could send a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is serious about making a deep playoff run this season. The Cowboys have always been a team that's willing to make bold moves, and adding a player of Cook's caliber, even in a limited role, could be the kind of strategic decision that pays off in the long run. Think about it. Having a veteran like Cook ready to step in at a moment's notice could be the difference between a win and a loss in a crucial game down the stretch. But on the other hand, there's also the risk of disrupting team chemistry. The Cowboys have worked hard to build a cohesive unit, and adding a high-profile player like Cook could potentially upset that balance. It's a delicate situation, and it's one that will require careful consideration from the coaching staff and front office. Let's pivot a bit and talk about the future. Even if Dalvin Cook doesn't sign with the Cowboys, this situation highlights the importance of having depth at key positions. The NFL season is long and grueling, and teams that make deep playoff runs are often the ones that can weather injuries and keep their momentum going. The Cowboys have done a good job of building depth across the roster, but running back is a position that always requires careful attention. Whether it's Ezekiel Elliott continuing to shoulder the load, Rico Dowdle stepping up in a bigger role, or Deuce Vaughn emerging as a surprise contributor, the Cowboys will need all hands on deck to navigate the challenges of the 2024 season. And let's not forget about the role of the fans in all of this. Cowboys Nation, your support and enthusiasm can make a huge difference. Whether it's cheering on the team at AT&T Stadium or engaging with content like this on Cowboys News TV, your voice matters. So keep those comments coming, keep participating in our polls, and let's continue to build this community together. After all, we're all in this together, and your passion for the Cowboys is what makes this team so special. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed to Cowboys News TV. We're growing fast, and it's all thanks to your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, and every single one of you can help us reach that goal. Plus, when you subscribe, you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos, whether it's breaking news, game analysis, or exclusive interviews. So hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and let's keep this momentum going. As we close out today's video, remember that the Dalvin Cook story is still developing. Whether he ends up with the Cowboys, the Colts, or another team entirely, we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. So stay tuned, Cowboys Nation, there's plenty more to come. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!